Hello everyone, welcome to the another video on Power Automate Desktop. I am Dinuj Loganathan. In the AI Copilot series, today I come up with some interesting use case. So first I will explain our use case, then we will see how the AI Copilot help us to develop our use case with the very lesser time. Okay, so this is my outlook. So each and every day I receive lot of emails for the bank reconciliation, so which contains the PDF invoice document. I will open some invoice document. If you look at this invoice, which contains a supplier name and invoice number, invoice date, due date, PO number, and also in final we are seeing the total amount, right? So whenever I receive such emails, I will save that PDF files in the bank reconciliation folder. Then I will manually extract all this information from supplier to total amount. I will put it in the Excel file. Then I also check the sales accounting system whether the supplier made any transaction for that invoice or not. So in this example, if you look at the Tech Solution Limited, they have paid the amount 1.8 lakhs, right? So let's check that. So if you look at here, they have paid 1.8 lakhs. Uh, Date is 10/3/2024, and if you look at the type credit, and it also shows some reference number, and the invoice number is 1003. Okay, so 1003, correct. And invoice amount also looks good. Okay, so if we find that invoice details in the transaction page, then I will note this invoice is reconciled, I mean verified. Okay, if if I receive another invoice, if I go and check in the transaction details, if it is not, then I have mentioned as a unverified invoice. Okay, so I will consolidate every invoice, and the end of the day I will send the report to the my finance team. Okay, so this is my day-to-day process. I want to automate this process using AI Copilot. Let's see how it reduce the overall development activities right now. Okay, now let's see the AI Copilot magic. Okay, so I already break down my use case details here. So this is my first step. I want to read my Outlook emails with the subject name, which includes a bank reconciliation, and if any attachment is exist, I want to save them in the bank reconciliation C drive. Okay, then I want to read all this saved PDF file. Then I want to extract supplier invoice number, invoice date, and due date, PO number, and finally the total amount using the regular expression. Then I want to write them into the data table. Okay, so I break down my use case into the small prompts. Let's go ahead and first pass the first Outlook task here. Okay, so I'm going to paste the same prompt here. I will click the play button. Meanwhile, I will go ahead and clear the existing invoice data here. I deleted everything, and it also generated the equivalent desktop actions. Let's go ahead and verify them. Okay, perfect. So it included the launch Outlook action. Then it start reading all my emails. I quickly change my account name here, Dinu Power Journey dot on Microsoft.com. I think remaining all good, and the subject contains a bank reconciliation. This also looks good, and if it have any attachments, it will save in the bank reconciliation folder. This is perfect, right? So far, it's completed. The first step. Now I'm going to automate the second step. Okay, I want to read all the PDF files from the folder. Then I want to extract the relevant PDF, invoice information. Then I want to push those data into the data table. Okay, I will click play button here. Okay, if you look at this new generated action, it start extracting the information from the PDF file, and also it is included regex for all supplier invoice date, number, due date, PU number, and total number, etc. And also it find those information from the extracted PDF text. All looks good. What I will do, I will go ahead and run this flow. Before that, if I look at this, the data table initialization is missing here, so I will include them manually. So I'm going to create the new table. Okay, and then I want to insert this all columns here. Okay, I will keep it this handy. What are the information I need? So that this is supplier, invoice number, invoice date, then due date, PO number, finally total amount. Okay, so let's keep this as a data table 1. I don't think another table is there, so let's keep the data table. Okay, now I will run this flow. Okay, so I will make sure I know no attachments in the bank reconciliation folder there. Okay, now it is start running. I will put the breakpoint here. So it is start reading all the emails with the subject name of bank reconciliation. Then it start saving all the invoice information in the bank reconciliation folder. So far it is good. Then it is extracting the each PDF files. So there is some error in the invoice number. Let's quickly check invoice number. So to more fine tune our prompt, what we will do, I will read the extracted PDF file here. I will give this to our prompt so that it will give the fine tuned regex for the same. Okay, how to do that? Uh, I will remove the unwanted details. The line items I don't need here. Okay, sample extracted PDF text is below. Okay, I will give some additional information in our prompt. What I will do, I will remove the existing one. I will remove from here. Okay, I will remove all the actions. Now I will give the fresh prompt. Okay, so if you look at this, read all PDF file from the folder, and and extract the supplier info, invoice number, invoice date, due date, PO number, total amount using regular expression, and write this extracted values into the data table. Sample extracted PDF text is below for the Copilot reference. Okay, I click play button here. Okay, perfect. So now it is extracted all the details again. Now let's go ahead, check this information. For now, I will disable the insert row into the data table, and we already saved the PDF files, right? That, so I will disable those actions as well. Now I will run the flow right now. I will put the breakpoint. Let's quickly check whether it extracted all the information rightly or not. Okay, So due date it is extracted, fine, and invoice date also fine. And let's check the PDF, sorry, PO number, that also looks good, and total amount also looks perfect. Okay, so what I will do, I will go ahead and create the new data table. I mean the data table initialization is missing here, so I will do it manually right now. Okay, so I will drag and drop, create new data table here. Then I want to add some of the columns here, right? So what are the columns here? Supplier, invoice number, then invoice date, then due date, PO number, finally the total amount of the invoice. Okay, I click save here, and also I will enable the insert row in the data table action. Okay, I will run the flow right now. Let's see the magic. I remove the breakpoint and click continue run. Boom! If you look at the data table now, it is added the four rows. First one is empty. We will remove that one. If you look at this, it will extract all the supplier details in the each invoice, and the invoice number, date, due date, PO number, total amount, right? So here we need to slightly change our code to remove the unwanted data on this variables. Okay, so I type replace here. I will drag and drop replace text action for each parse text. Here I will pass my supplier match variable here. What data I want to remove here? So that is supplier. I want only the ABC supplies limited. I don't want the supplier label here, and replace with empty string. Okay. So once it is replaced, I want to save the updated value in the same variable. Okay, so similarly we have to do for other invoice number and invoice date, due date, PO number, etc. I will quickly do that. Okay, so now I have removed all the unwanted labels in this variable. So now let's go and run this flow. Now let's check the data table variable. Now it is showing only the supplier name. It doesn't include any unwanted details, right, for all the datas. So it is looks good. I will remove the breakpoint and I will continue the run. Okay, perfect. So we have the data table now with the the cleansed data. Okay, so now I want to remove only the first the row, right? So what I will do, I will use remove delete empty rows from data table. Okay, I will do it in the beginning itself. and our data table is data table. Okay, looks fine. Okay, perfect. So what I will do, I will include one more column here called status. Okay, I will run the flow. Okay, so we have included one additional column, right? So we have to do the record changes here as well. So for now, I will go with the empty value, empty string. Okay, perfect. So now we have only the three row. So we have extracted all the required information from those invoice, PDF files. So what is our next step? We need to check, those invoice informations exist on the transaction details, data table, right? So let's do that. So the back end of the Salesforce accounting system is the Microsoft SQL Server. You can see the similar information, transaction information in the transaction data table. Okay, SQL table. Okay, so I have created another prompt. So here I have mentioned iterate the data table rows and check the invoice number and the total amount is exist in the sales order MS SQL database, then mark that invoice is a verified. Else, mark that it is unverified in the data table status column. Okay, so I will just copy and paste the same prompt here. Okay, so the data table I am referring here is this data table. Okay, which we created here. I will click submit here. Okay, it is showing error, that is okay. Okay, if you look at this, it is creating the open SQL connection, and here also it is showing some new data table that is not required here. So what I will do, I will remove this, and here I want to iterate only the data table, not I don't need that rows and all. Okay, this is perfect. That connection is okay. It is extracted invoice number. I will slightly adjust as per the syntax, except column name. Okay, so I just give the space in the between of total and amount and the invoice and number, and also it is converted the string into the number format. All looks fine. I just need to include one more statement, execute SQL statement. Okay, so I will put it here. Then this is my query. Okay, so I will slightly adjust this. I want to append my invoice number here. Okay, so the invoice number is this, and amount, right? Amount is the total amount text, total amount text stored in the total amount. Sorry, so total amount, not a text. Okay, this is looks good. I will cross check my connections. Okay, so I will click the settings and I pick my server name from the drop down, and this is my username and password. I will also mention allow saving the password, and my database name is sales order. Okay, I will click the test connection. This is done. I click OK, then click save. Okay, so far it is good. It is showing some error on the 44th line item. Okay, for now I will just disable this. Okay, I will put the breakpoint here and run now. Okay, okay, it is executed the statement. Let's verify the query result. Query result shows 0 rows. Okay, that is fine. Maybe we will cross verify our the data. Okay, I will stop here. So this is the invoice number. Okay, so it seems it have with some empty space. Okay, what we will do, we will let's go and do the trim. Okay, so here we can trim the value. Okay, so I will type trim text. Okay, so white space character from the beginning and the end. Okay, this looks fine. What the data I want to trim in here? Invoice number. So once it is trimmed, I want to save the trimmed value in the same variable. Okay, I click save now. Now let's go and run the flow. Okay, now if you look at the query result, it shows one rows, right? So that means that invoice with the total invoice amount is exists on the transaction table. That means it is verified. Okay, so what we will do, we need to write the same information in the data table. Okay, here I will just check it have any rows or not. Okay, so query results, row count greater than 0, that means status is verified. That looks okay. Then I will enable this action. Okay, now I want to update the data. Okay, so for that I'm going to use update data table. Okay, update data table, and column is status, and row we will include some variable counter variable here, and the new value is status. Okay, I will create one more variable called counter, row counter. I will put above the for each row counter. It should start from 0, and inside the for each I need to iterate the same. Okay, end of the for each I want to iterate that value. I want to increment by 1. Okay, now I will include the row number here. Okay, perfect. Now let's run the flow. Okay, perfect. So let's go and check our updated data table. If you look at this, it is a verified one. Okay, so this is looks fine. So once everything is done, what is our final task? What is our final step? So write the data, or maybe I will write, transfer the data table values into Excel file and save it at then my file path. Okay, final report dot xls. Okay, and close the Excel file and send an email to finance team by attaching this Excel file. Okay, and finance team email id is finance at test.com. Okay, I will go with this prompt now. This is my final step. Let's see. Okay, so what I will do, I will just cut the newly generated code, and I will drag and drop into the last one. Okay, now let's verify. So it is launching the Excel file and it is writing the data with the data table information and save it with the given path. And finally it is also sending the emails. Okay. Okay, so what I will do here, I need to correct my prompt here. uh, so I will remove the newly generated actions. So I will refine my prompt again. So here I want to send an email using my Outlook to team account team accounts at test.com. Okay. Okay, so it is launching the Excel file and writing the informations, then saving and launching the outlooks and the email. That is looks fine. Let's verify. Okay, it is included the right Excel file. Now let's change my account name here. Dot on Microsoft.com. Test accounts. The test is fine. Final report all looks good. I click save. Let's go ahead and run the flow. I'm very excited to see the newly generated actions works fine or not. Okay, so slightly I need to change this code. What I will do, I will drag and drop the right to Excel worksheet, and I do small changes here. So every time you are giving the prompt, right? So every time it is behaving the different way. So make sure you the generated actions is relevant for your use case or the task. Okay, else you need to adjust slightly. Okay, so here I will write the header row, column header. This is fine. Then another A2 row, I will write the values. Okay. Just quickly change the row. Okay, perfect. That's it. I think it will work right now. Okay, perfect. So we created our use case. We completely automated our day-to-day activities. Let's verify the final report, the send items. Okay, it's in stuck in the out box. That is okay. I will quickly check. Okay, this sound all fine. I will check the final report. Okay, perfect. It looks great, right? So the people who don't have a the RPA background or who are very new to the Power Automate desktop, they can easily leverage Power Automate AI Copilot or AI Recorder options to automate the daily task. It especially for mostly the citizen developers, right? And sometimes also the Copilot generated the actions showing some syntax errors. So definitely some improvements is required on some areas. And currently the Microsoft Power Automate AI Copilot supporting only the subset of packages. So for example, only the 30% of packages only currently supporting. Remaining we may expect from the Microsoft add them in the upcoming days. With that, I conclude this video today, and thank you everyone for watching this video. So in the next series, I am planning to create the Power Automate desktop plus AI based use cases. So please consider to subscribe my channel, and thank you everyone for watching.